is a Eucharistic Congress? I did not know what a Eucharistic Congress was until about a month ago. Eucharistic Congresses are large events where clergy, consecrated religious, and lay people come together and we celebrate and glorify the Holy Eucharist, as well as seek the best means to spread the knowledge and love of the real presence of Jesus Christ in the Eucharist to the world. There are a lot of speakers.
Set us free to do what? To be the person that God created and calls each one of us to be.
And vendors. A lot of prayers so that God can speak to us. I recently attended one. I had a friend from high school who lived 20 minutes from this Eucharistic Congress that I was able to go to. So it was great. I could go to the whole thing because I just crashed in her guest room, because these Eucharistic Congresses are usually more than one day. But you don't have to go to the whole thing, and they're usually free. I've linked below a ton of Eucharistic Congresses. There are some coming up next year in Florida, Atlanta. There are a bunch. I'm sure there are some that I haven't found, but definitely look below and see if you might be able to go to any of them. There are also international Eucharistic Congresses. The last one was in 2016 in the Philippines, and I was actually in the Philippines just a couple weeks before that Eucharistic Congress. And I've only been to the Philippines once. The Eucharistic Congress before that was in 2012 in Ireland. I was actually in Ireland, but I missed the Eucharistic Congress by a few months. So it's just sort of crazy to me. It's like God was trying to tell me to go to a Eucharistic Congress or something. So I am kind of kicking myself that, especially that I missed the one in the Philippines, because I could have extended my trip just a little bit to go. But I'm feeling okay because I just went to a fabulous Eucharistic Congress. The next International Eucharistic Congress will be in 2020 in Budapest, Hungary. It'll be the 52nd International Congress. I am not planning to go to Budapest because I have been once and it was an amazing trip. I was able to perform one of my favorite concerts there with a ton of fabulous musicians. My roommate had Hungarian ancestry. She had lived in Hungary before. She spoke Hungarian and she just knew how to get around the city. So I didn't even have to look at a map because she was just so awesome. So my trip to Budapest was so amazing, and I just want to leave that beautiful memory of Hungary in my mind, and I don't have plans to go back. Also, as an introvert, I think an International Eucharistic Congress might be a little bit much for me. But if you are interested, definitely mark your calendar, put a little reminder in 2020 to Google International Eucharistic Congress, Budapest, Hungary. Okay, so the Eucharistic Congress that I went to, I enjoyed so much. Over 4,000 people attended, and there are different tracks. So there's really something for everyone. I stayed with the main track, but after, the main program, everyone split off. So some people went to the children's program, middle school, high school, special needs, Spanish, Vietnamese. There was even a young adult networking event. There were so many vendors if you wanted a t-shirt, a rosary, a statue, information about retreat centers, just so many vendors. It was awesome. Adoration was available at all times. Byzantine Vespers, so many fabulous speakers. And it ended with Mass, of course. And during that Mass, the bishop of that diocese did a big blessing of all the sacramentals because a lot of people bought rosaries, etc. And so it was awesome that you could just have it blessed right away. I loved it so much, and I really recommend going. The Eucharistic Congress that I just went to, the bishop of the diocese did not shy away from addressing the scandal, address the victims, his position, and within the same breath, like there was no break, he went right into prayer, and he led us all in prayer. with the sorrowful mysteries of reparation. So everyone just took out their rosaries. It wasn't planned, it wasn't in the schedule, in the program, and it was just so beautiful. I had to fight back some tears, but I really appreciated it. And I'm very grateful that I was able to be there and to pray with all of these people in reparation. I just did a video on reparation. I have it linked below. If you're not familiar with that theology, definitely check it out. There were so many great speakers. Deacon Harold Burke Sivers was awesome.
If my Lord can die on that cross for my sins, and I can't take when somebody calls me a name because I'm not afraid to live my Catholic faith, I don't deserve to be called a Catholic. There's another name for that, coward. Felicity, Perpetua, Agatha, Agnes, Lucy, Cecilia, Anastasia. Why are those names in the Roman canon? Because they sound cool. Those names are there because those women would rather die than deny Jesus.
One of the priests that spoke was just such an intellectual man, and he covered 4 doctors of the church and their teaching on the real presence in the Eucharist. And all of these doctors of the church lived between 300 and 400 AD. So it's just so crazy to me that so many Christians in the world today don't believe in the real presence in the Eucharist, when this was a very clear teaching in early Christianity. Anyway, I enjoyed it so much. I took great notes, and it was just funny to me that this intellectual man was just trying to summarize this beautiful theology in a small amount of time, but he did a great job. I learned a lot. One of my favorite speakers was Trent Horn.
Trying to fit in here, like, oh, I don't have, an encyclopedic knowledge like Jimmy Aiken. Tim Staples, my colleague, my boss, the man practically has the entire Bible and Catechism memorized. If you ever listened to him on Catholic Answers Live, it is amazing.
Trent Horn is so awesome. He's so knowledgeable. I love watching him on Catholic Answers. I'll link one of his videos below where he only takes atheist callers, and he just asks them, why they believe, what they believe, how did they come to that position, and usually it's only 2 reasons. The first reason is that they have never looked into the evidence for God, and the second reason is they haven't been convinced of the evidence for God. And he is just so great about kindly getting to that conclusion and talking to them, where they are, sending them one of his books, and just planting that seed, because there really is more evidence for Christianity, for Catholicism, and there really isn't much evidence for atheism. It would be so much easier for me to be an atheist. I could do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted, and be super selfish. But there is so much evidence for Christianity and Catholicism that I know the truth. I can't deny it. There's just too much evidence, and he is so knowledgeable about all of it, and he can talk to so many different types of atheists. He also addressed the scandal, which I truly appreciated. He said if you were walking down the road and you saw a shiny diamond ring covered in feces, what would you do? Nearly everyone he asked that question to responds with, well, I'd pick up that ring and clean it up as best as I could, because that's a diamond ring, that's valuable. And the Eucharist is infinitely more valuable than a shiny rock. And as Catholics, we know that. And that's why we're Catholic, because Jesus Christ started a church, and Jesus Christ is present in the Eucharist. He taught it, John 6. It's crazy, it's miraculous, but that's what he taught, and that's why we're Catholic. So definitely go to a Eucharistic Congress if you have the chance. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!